Hey everybody, welcome back. Northernlion playing the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. 2 wins in a row. How about that, baby? You already know it's egg and baby in the morning. I don't know what to say. That, you know, OBS, when I start it up and I start recording an Isaac episode, says encoding overloaded. Did I really just say encoding overloaded? It is pretty early. It's not even 9 a.m. yet. And I know you got up at 4 because, I don't know, there was a Nintendo Direct or something like that. Okay, I apologize. I'm not trying to say I woke up earlier than anybody on Earth. Just in the top 50%, in my opinion. As long as you account for time zones. Because it's not fair, really, it's not fair. We on the West Coast, even if we get up at 6... people on the East Coast will be like, don't care, didn't ask. Plus, that's 9 a.m. where I live. Okay, dude, it's not all about Syracuse. Or I don't know what. I started with a little vinegar in the bloodstream today. I don't know what's going on there. Actually, I'm quite happy. Honestly, it's a beautiful, sunny day. I believe that this. I mean, today is Thursday. I believe this Saturday is the final day of daylight savings, which is awesome. I don't really get, like, and by get, I mean experience. I don't mean that I don't believe it exists. But I don't really experience, like, too bad of seasonal affective disorder, but I think, you know, a combination of, routine disruption from having a newborn, not being able to go outside due to, you know, ongoing global health crisis, combined with, the sun going down at, like, 3:15 p.m., yeah, it's been, let's not say taking its toll, like it's been like some kind of enormous burden or anything like that, but certainly don't get trapped in here, thank you. That's pretty good. Certainly now that the days are getting a little bit longer, I know they've been getting a little bit longer since like the end of December really, but they're starting to get appreciably longer now, for sure. I find myself like my mood is just markedly improved, I think. I know people are going to be like, you should get one of those lights, you know, one of those, and I do take supplemental vitamin D, but, you know, one of those vitamin D, like, lights that you can get for seasonal affective disorder. I actually may consider it, but, you know, I also want to see maybe, you know, how it feels when there's not, like, a global pandemic going on simultaneously, and I can still go outside in the wintertime without, you know, the risk of catching a relatively serious infectious disease. Anyway, this is a good item. I was hoping to get maybe a bomb at some point, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm feeling good. It's been a good week, you know. We've had some good content this week. I'm starting a Dark Souls randomizer today, which is, I'm very excited by. We launched merch on Tuesday, which if you're unfamiliar, you can go to northernlion.shop. We got a great line. Basically, like, Jay just always knocks it out of the park with, hey, bless you. Bless you. Frog likes to hop, hop, hop. He jumps in the water. Tick-a-tick-a-tick. Splish. Splash. It's a relatively low payout, I'll be honest, but, and I think I would honestly rather have petrified poop than the flat penny, but we'll see long term here. But Jay does an awesome job. We've been talking about, like, doing season 2 of merch, you know, basically since the first series ended, which was, like, last June. Obviously a lot of stuff has come up in the process. I'm gonna leave some of these around just so hopefully we can leverage them for keys, at least on this floor. But yeah, like, I'm excited about what we got going on. Jay has knocked it out of the park as usual. I've been wearing the merch for like 2 months, basically. You know, we got samples a long time ago. It's exciting, so if you want to check it out, I think it's for sale until the 16th of March, and this video should be going up on the 12th. So you got a little time. And the reason we do that, not to belabor the point on Inside Baseball, is like, I've done merch with other outlets in the past, and I mean no disrespect to them. I think they offer, you know, different things. Like, if you have a permanent storefront through a site like, I mean, I won't even say their names, because I'm not trying to create any kind of negativity there, however small. Bless you, baby. Let's do it. I'm not scared. But, you know, there's lots of sites through which you can offer, like, hey, you know, even if one person orders a shirt this month, we'll print it. Usually, you end up giving up something, as a creator, you end up giving up something on the margin there. So, you know, on a $25 t-shirt, you might make, like, $2. Which seems like, you know, who cares? It's not necessarily all about the fiduciary aspect, but it's more like, you know, why am I using brand assets that I paid Jade for to make a printing shop that doesn't even know who I am rich? If that makes sense. Not to be too braggadocious, of course. I would like to get Whore of Babylon going. I think we want deals with the devil long term. So I'm not necessarily saying that like one of those is better than another. What I am saying is that you know, neither of them are that good. So, you know, if we're gonna sell a t-shirt at that price, it would be nice that, like, you know, the artist could make some money on it. You know, I could make some money on it, honestly. And then the secondary thing is, you know, because you're printing to order instead of in a batch, you know, the per unit cost tends to go way up. Whereas, you know, when we do a single, you know, period, let's call it like a limited run, we have the ability to buy higher quality merch. And, you know, we're not Walmart. We're not getting insane discounts, but we're able to get, you know, bulk discounting on, you know, some better quality material for the shirts and stuff like that. As a result, you know, the kind of shirt that you're buying, you know, you're not paying, pardon me, like, you know, $30 for a screen printed logo on like the cheapest shirt that's available from Hanes or whatever. So, and there, so far, and again, you know, maybe you take this as an advertisement. I mean, technically, I guess it is an advertisement, but we've had, you know, the merch so far the last couple of days has gone extremely well, and a lot of people have said, and again, you know, I take this with a grain of salt because I got a vested interest in this, but people have said like, oh, you know, I've been waiting for this merch since the last merch drop, and okay, this is fine. You know, that's always nice to hear that, you know, you've got people that last time were happy with the product that they ended up getting and said, you know what, we're gonna, you know, back it again here. And there is, you know, obviously there's some scuttlebutt. People always have opinions over the, I think we're good on keys. I've decided to be lazy here. There's always some scuttlebutt over the design. You know, the philosophy that Jay and I have is like, you know, we'd rather that, and it's a little atypical for YouTuber merch, but we'd rather almost have the clothing, like the apparel, be an extension of the whole, you know, Northernlion universe, you know, to put it in Marvel terms. Rather than have it be like, okay, once every 6 months we're gonna do a limited run that's just like a YouTube logo, or our YouTube avatar, I should say, screen printed on a hoodie. We're gonna try to do some different stuff so that, you know, over time, you know, maybe a couple of years later, you'd see somebody in public wearing some OG NL merch. Probably a little bit of an ask, you know. It's not that ubiquitous, but you'd be like, oh, they've been around for a while. You know, it's got a little, like, collector aspect to it. But, you know, if you don't like the designs on this run, it's like the weather in San Francisco. If you don't like this one, wait 10 minutes. Anyway, thanks for allowing me to do my pitch. Very excited for the Dark Souls randomizer as well. I feel like you know, 2021, not to make this too inside baseball, we've been figuring stuff out, you know, with this new streaming schedule, YouTube schedule. I thought January went pretty well. I learned a lot of lessons. I thought February, we tried some new things. You know, we tried some more long-form games to see if they still had the, you know, or if those particular ones had a place right now, and it seems like the appetite for that stuff is a little bit low, which is fine. There's some special games coming out in the future. Like, I can't believe we're only 3 months away, or 3 weeks away, as of yesterday, from Repentance. Like, that's blowing my mind. But I feel like March has been, you know, it's been a distillation of the kind of content I want to make more of. Some things I don't have a control over to the extent that I'd like, you know, I'd love to be invited to a Twitch Rivals twice a month, but I can't guarantee that that sort of stuff is going to happen long term. But the chess Twitch Rivals was awesome. The saga of trying to beat Alt F4 was a good time. You know, breaking Luck Be a Landlord to try to, you know, eventually succeed on getting that $1 trillion spin. Like, you've been doing some fun stuff lately. Always room to mix some more stuff in, and I needed a little bit of a tolerance break from Dark Souls after I basically ruined Dark Souls 2 for myself. I'll acknowledge my role. I think Dark Souls 2 is not the best Souls game, of course, because I have eyes and ears. But I also, I'll acknowledge I played a role in making things harder on myself than they actually needed to be. But a randomizer, always a fun time. So I'm looking forward to it. And thanks for the patience we've had in getting there. And then, like, I'm on, let's not call it Cloud 9. Call it, like, Cloud 7. Hopefully it's not like a Circles of Heck thing. Just trying to think. I mean, I guess. No, wait, hold on. Marbles is, Trinket Smelter. Trinket Smelter. Right, baby? She's like, even I knew that. But yeah, I'm on, like, Cloud 7. I think geez, Teleport's, like, pretty good, but... it's funny. Look, I can't guarantee that I have the kind of runway right now to do something like that. But it is funny that it showed up right there. Golden Teleporter is a lot of fun. I really like, you know, if you get it in the super early game, I think it's great. We're literally on the Caves 1. It's like almost as early as it gets, but I don't know, because I took a while on the first 2 floors, I guess. I'm like, you know, I don't have that kind of time. Are you crazy? I got diapers to change, man. High Priestess? I guess we're just done with the floor. I'm trying to think of what I might want here. Anyway, people are like, why are you on Cloud 7? Okay, I'm on Cloud 7 because, like, you know, vaccine delivery has really sped up. In Canada, at least, you know, there's been, like, an unexpected surge in delivered vaccine doses, so it actually seems like my parents could get vaccinated soon. I know you were like, oh, he might get vaccinated soon. No, we're, like, literally end of the line. Like, I think that we won't be, I shouldn't say literally, I guess. There will be people who turn 18 and then, like, have to wait until, I mean, they're going to be scraping residue out of the garbage can to get those shots done, probably. We're pretty close to end of the line, though, which is fair. You know, we work from home to begin with. We're young and able-bodied, just kind of like, you know, like everybody else, going a little bit stir-crazy over time. Which, you know, you gotta do your... You know, back in the day, when there was a worldwide controversy, you might have to, like, you know, go through basic training and then, you know, get on a rickety old boat, go, you know, fight someone else's war. Now all I gotta do is, you know, find something to watch on Netflix. So I think I'm up to the task. I can wait, but yeah, I'm mostly stoked that my parents, you know, it looks like maybe sometime in April, maybe? Then originally they thought it was going to be August for them, so that's pretty cool. I'm happy for them. I don't know if they're going to, you know, get up to too much. They're homebodies to begin with, but it's not so much like, oh, you know, give me this vaccine, I can't wait to go out to the pub, you know? It's more like peace of mind that, you know, next time I'm at the grocery store, I won't be, like, as concerned if somebody gets, you know, 5.999 feet away from me. So, I'm feeling stoked for them, for sure. D20? I say, D... no thank you. Doesn't really work, guys. So, baby, don't listen to that joke, okay? That joke does not have a... There's no punchline that actually pays out from that joke. The science of comedy on that one does not work, okay? I know. She's like, I know. I'm just here to sing the frog song. I can't... You guys... Yeah, yeah, ding dong. You guys... You watched that Eurovision movie with Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams? It's not very good, but it's kind of fun. You know, I wouldn't recommend it as like, oh, you've gotta watch this. But I would say, you know, if you... I kind of like Will Ferrell. Like, you might not... Depending on your age, you might not have been, like, cognizant of media criticism. I would say sometime between, like, 2006 and 2012. Will Ferrell was actually one of the most hated actors in Hollywood. Why? Well, because he made, like... He was very popular. Not the most popular actor in the world, but one of the most popular comic actors for sure. And then his movies were dumb, which is very true. And there's a lot of Will Ferrell movies I will not go to bat for. Like, I don't think... the one I always... Let's not say get in trouble, but the one that I disagree with most people on is Step Brothers. Love Will Ferrell, love John C. Reilly. Step Brothers, couple of good moments that I like a lot, but on the whole, never really got me going in the same way like, you know, Anchorman 1 did or something like that. That being said, despite that, I've always enjoyed Will Ferrell in movies. I always saw him as kind of like a Jack Black type, you know? He's not necessarily always... Like, if you see, like, Daniel Day-Lewis has signed on to be in a movie, you're like, this is gonna, you know, be a critical darling. If you see that Will Ferrell... Sorry, still early here. Will Ferrell or Jack Black has signed on to a movie, you have no idea. It could be, you know, School of Rock, and it could be Year One. If you're having trouble figuring out which one of those is the good one and which one of those is the bad one, you may need to watch Year One again. Just give me one moment here. Hey, baby! Sorry, just a little phlegm in the throat. I could have lied to you, you know, if you're going, ew, gross. I could have been like, oh, sorry, I was saving a puppy from getting hit by a garbage truck. No, I would, you know, I got a little dry throat. I apologize, and I'm honest to a fault here, I suppose. Except in my opinion on Step Brothers. No, I truly believe that it's... I don't even want to say overrated. Like, that's not the... Sometimes calling something overrated is a bit of a... you got to be careful with the criticism, because it's not the reaction to something, and it's taken me a long time and a lot of growing up to learn this. The way that the audience feels about a piece of media, being upset with that is not a criticism of the actual piece of media, you know? Sometimes, you know, if you're like, you might want to go through this lens, you know, what is the most overrated movie, what's the most underrated movie of all time, etc., etc. But for the most part, like, if I ask you, you know, how you feel about a movie, and you say underrated, overrated, I don't want to know that. I want to know whether you think it's good or bad. Something could be overrated and still fun. Something could be underrated and still trash. But anyway, but I've always liked Will Ferrell as an actor. Of course, you know, much like Jack Black, it has some dramatic turns that are actually good as well. Like Stranger Than Fiction with Will Ferrell, Dustin Hoffman, Maggie Gyllenhaal. Great movie. I've told this story before, but I saw a movie with a friend of mine in October or November of my first year of university. It was the very week that Casino Royale came out. So we went to the movie theater, and there were two movies that were playing, like, in the timeline we wanted, right? And she was like, what do you want to see, Casino Royale or Stranger Than Fiction? I wanted to see Casino Royale, but I thought that she wanted to see Stranger Than Fiction, so I said Stranger Than Fiction. You might think there's a big whiff, because Casino Royale is incredible. And I'll be honest with you, I think Casino Royale is a better movie than Stranger Than Fiction. But I had many opportunities to see Casino Royale after that point. Who knows if I ever would have seen, you know, Stranger Than Fiction if I hadn't, you know, incorrectly assumed that that was the movie that she wanted to see. So sometimes being, you know, overly passive and polite, I guess can be advantageous in its own way. Hey, baby. Don't talk to me about that damage, okay? I'm just looking for, like, a single item room. But yeah, how the heck did I get here? How did I get to this conversational thread about Will Ferrell? I don't remember in the slightest. Oh well. So we started talking about Dark Souls Randomizer, and now we're on Will Ferrell for some reason. I mean, I really feel like Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, Jack Black, and Ben Stiller are like 4 clones of the same soul. And if I had to play the, like, of the 4, number 1, and this has changed over time, by the way. Number 1, Jack Black. No question. I find him affable. I genuinely, he's a great musician. I think Tenacious D is very, like, not just a good band for comedy, but actually, like, you know, talented musicians in their own right as well. From his YouTube channel, seems like he's got a fun personality. Seems like a good dad. I got positive things to say about Jack Black. You know, his filmography is not stellar, but he's got some great turns in there, you know? On top of all his comedic acting, you know, in the Richard Linklater film, Bernie, I thought he was, he had a certain mundane malevolence about him that was exactly what was needed in the role. Maybe I'm putting a little too much sauce on the verbiage. I apologize. Number 2, it's tough. I'll tell you, it's either Will Ferrell or Ben Stiller. I think I've always considered myself more of a Ben Stiller type. You know, he does do some arty stuff. He directed The Cable Guy, starring Jim Carrey as well. I like his silly movies, but I also enjoy some of his more serious movies for sure. Not so much stuff like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, but you know, in you know, The Royal Tenenbaums, for example. You know, I'll give him some credit there. You know, and he's been in a lot of indie stuff. You know, Greenberg and the Meyerowitz stories and stuff like that. Neither of which let me put it this way, both of which I thought were more clever than they were entertaining. Even the baby is like, can you shut up? That's not me talking to the baby, that's the baby talking to me. The baby's like, what do you even, nobody knows what you're saying. Greenberg? You're really talking about the 2009 Noah Baumbach film Greenberg that nobody remembers because it's wedged between The Squid and the Whale, which is an incredible film, and then also 2019's Marriage Story, considered, you know, one of the best films of that year. Yeah, baby, I remember Greenberg, okay? It's not really, I don't even think it's a good movie, but that doesn't mean we should, you know, just throw it away. Jeez Louise, I didn't realize I'd have to, the Greenberg Defender is logged on. What do you think, baby? What's your favorite movie? Oh, I did not mean to hit that. What's your favorite movie? You've seen a couple. You were in the room when Soul was playing? Kind of envious of a child in the sense that, like, when you're a kid, I feel like every movie you see is your favorite movie of all time. I remember having that vibe in the theater. Like, first off, in the movie theater, I always thought, like, you know how people, like, whenever a plane lands, they, like, clap? Because they're happy to be alive? That's how I felt like when I left the movie theater, because I was always, like, weirdly paranoid until I was, like, maybe 9 or 10, that the movie screen was gonna just fall and crush us all. Which I don't know if it's ever happened in, you know, human history, but, you know, when you're a kid, your imagination can run wild, right? But, anytime I saw a movie until I was, like, 12, especially in the theater, it's the best movie I've ever seen in my life. Are you crazy? Any movie you saw instantly becomes, like, the yardstick you compare other films to. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good? It's a little early by baby standards, you know? Like, I woke you up just a touch early today. Not to be, like, rude. Just because it's the way it ended up working out, but still. We could die on this run, by the way. We really shouldn't, but I have taken a lot of pretty bad damage, honestly. Damage that I can't be proud of. There is also the elephant in the room here, is that the run is good, but mostly it's kind of Whore of Babylon holding us up there. Incubus also amazing, but I mean, we literally just got it. I'm mostly just saying, like, our raw damage stats are not particularly strong. But I think we can use our brain here, okay? So, what does this mean? Well, I'm thinking, we can use Razor Blade at any point to get permanent Polaroid invincibility. Or to get a damage boost, obviously. Okay, yep, we probably should have used it right there. There's a tinted rock, though. You okay, baby? You okay, baby? I forgot we had Leo. Leo's a bad item. I give you my permission to forget it exists. Oh, I think she might fall asleep. I think she might fall asleep. My word. Okay, that's one where you definitely... You know what? I don't know that we would have taken damage here, but I think we would have. So I'm willing to flex my permanent Polaroid invincibility muscle there. You should never stand there, but we did, and it worked. So, shows what I know. Get me out of here, please. Anyway, yeah. Like, everything's going pretty well. Can't complain. It's always nice, like... I think there's... anytime you draw a delineation like this artificially, it's by necessity guaranteed to be true, but I think there's two kinds of people in the world. There's people who prefer the feeling when it's colder outside and the heat hits their skin. You know? Coziness, let's call it. And then there's people who prefer it when it's warm outside and the cold air hits their skin. That second group, we call them the group of people that is correct. So I think just generally, if you had to like chart my happiness on like on a cyclical seasonal level, I mean, today might be a peak, honestly. It's early March, it's not like super hot, but it's warm and sunny outside today at least. Also known as the Fool's Spring, because you know we're probably gonna have like a few more weeks of relatively, you know, gray, rainy weather here. Before the spring starts, and then it really starts to rain. And then the summer, when it still rains like a little bit, but not that much. But that first day of Fool's Spring, I know, but I mean, for you it must be special because this is your first one, right? But, and then like, oh, you either have like, you know, air conditioning or your fan, and it just is like it's carrying the heat away from you and hitting you with that cool, refreshing breeze. That's the stuff right there. Anyway, so yeah, it's good stuff. Just in general, especially, I mean, I've talked about this before as well, but I really like, I mean, on the average year, like January through to March is like kind of the crappiest part of the year to begin with, I think for most people. You know, you get a little post-holiday hangover, perhaps even literally. And then, you know, maybe you get a little boost for resolutions, and then they either fall through or they don't, and then, oh, it's tax season. Oh, I gotta scrape my car off every day. Oh, you know, like the minor nitpicks that make a winter kind of not the best time of the year. But then the spring and the summertime. I don't know the words. I just remember that before Subway was even insanely popular, there was a local TV commercial where they used that song. And I don't think I've ever heard the real version. So I know a lot of songs from local jingles. Like, do you know the song that goes, oh, 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 it's magic, you know, I really believe it's not so. That one? I only know it because it was in a Christmas commercial for the mall in my hometown, the Cataraqui Town Center. Which, I may add, by the way, you're probably like, ha 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 ha. Excuse me, it's the largest mall between between Ottawa and Toronto. What about Ottawa and Toronto? Oh, come on. I mean, Ottawa obviously has the Rideau Center, and then Toronto has the Eden Center. Like, we can't compete with that. But if you're making a trip in that corridor, and you were to visit the 3 largest malls as part of your itinerary, we would be in there. We'd be in the conversation. That's all I'm saying. Honey, should we stop in Belleville and go to the Quinte Mall? Look, I don't have anything against the Quinte Mall. They used to have a mini golf course right outside of it, which I would bug my parents to play every time we went. They used to have the flagship store was a Toys R Us, which is, as a kid, what more could you want, right? They also had a restaurant. I think the restaurant was called Sneaky Pete's. It was the first time I ever had pizza rolls in my entire life, and I threw up less than 2 hours after eating them as a child. I will say this is not to insult Sneaky Pete's. I don't necessarily think they gave me food poisoning. I think I might have just been sick to begin with, and then also been like, give me pizza rolls. And then when I threw them up, I was like, oh, what did this restaurant do to me? But I mean, come on. If we're comparing malls in Eastern Ontario, right, baby? I mean, you're going to the Cataraqui Town Center. Flagship store, probably. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I don't know what's going on with that mall. They had a few flagship stores. One of them was Sears. Another one was a department store called Zellers, which then became Target Canada after they were purchased by Target Canada, or by Target America, I should say. And Target Canada was like just a complete abject failure. Like, they folded all of their stores within 2 years. So I don't know what's going on with that. And then the other one is the Hudson's Bay Company. The Bay is still around, but I think, you know, under increasing pressure from people who, well, really from e-commerce outlets, but also, like, the Bay has always been kind of just a weird company as long as I've lived. You know, it's kind of like Sears, but like with the, like, they actually cared. Like Sears, the last decade of Sears' existence, every time you went into a Sears, which was probably never, judging by like how their revenue declined, but it was like they were just begging to be put out of their misery. They were like, just stop shopping here, just let us go, okay? The Bay is like, they're fighting tooth and nail, it seems, to keep it moving. But you know what I don't like about department stores? And it's a very minor thing. And I don't know, this might be... did anybody else spend every Saturday as a child being forced to go to the mall with your parents? My dad would, like, try to shop around for, like, the cheapest dress shirt you could find, and then, you know, my mom would go to, like, the lady clothing section, and I would just, like, sit on the benches and stuff. Like, that, I've literally done that as a child. I don't know, probably, like, 2,000 times is my guess. Because then, like, if you ever went on a vacation, get ready to do that, like, you know, for 4 out of the 6 days or whatever. But, and by the way, he found those cheap dress shirts, I might add. But they're the cheap ones with the nice quality. I do sometimes wonder if that's, like, why I have such an aversion to, like, shopping, is because as a child I was, you know, forced to do it against my will so much. But, you'd go to these department stores, you know, you go to Sears, the Bay, etc., etc. They'd have little cash register kiosks set up everywhere. And I imagine, like, in the heydays in the 70s, like, they were constantly, you know, there were cashiers everywhere. But as, you know, consumer preferences changed, none of the cash registers were ever, like, staffed. So you would, you know, you'd be in, like, the menswear section. Oh, I got a cool new pair of khakis. Oh, there's nobody at the cash register here. I'll walk over to kitchenware. Nobody at the cash register here. Walk over to electronics. Oh, there's somebody at the cash register here, but there's a huge lineup. Somebody's trying to return a, you know, 32-inch picture tube TV. Like, it was always, you never know where to go, right? You were looking like The Weeknd trying to find his way out of Blinded by the Lights in the Super Bowl halftime show. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And of course, hey, 2 things, northernlion.shop if you want to peep some merch. And if you don't, no hard feelings, but it does look fresh. And then, twitch.tv/Northernlion. Follow me. We're starting a Dark Souls randomizer today, which would be yesterday by the time this goes live. But hey, you know, there's no time like the present to click that follow button. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!